Morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. It's Friday. Brian is still fighting the vid. It's a weird strand that he's fighting. So
anybody else?
Keep it short and sweet. It's Friday. We're going to give you some quick little nuggets, fast action, and then let you get off and rolling for the weekend.
Social post of the day. Let's hop in.
Yes, let's get right into it. Mike, good morning. Chris, good morning. George, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What do we got? Social post.
So, no relation, but this dude Jason Hartman. He's some of you guys might know him. He's like an investor guy. He's big into like buy and hold single families. It's kind of like his shtick. He's been around a while. But he had a cool video. He interviewed a guy named Harvey Dent yesterday. But the cooler part of the video.
Harvey Dent.
You know him?
Harvey Dent.
That's
Two-Face from Batman.
Yes, you're right. I think the guy has the same name.
Oh, anyway, sorry.
Or I'm saying the name wrong because of I'm remembering that. Anyway, this is an example of a post where you just grab somebody else's content and you spin it. But this was a really good video, guys. You should watch the link if you go to my Facebook. I have it timestamped at like 46 seconds in. He talks for 2 or 3 minutes about what rising inventory on the market means. So things have slowed down already a little bit because of rates. So there's more houses on the market now than maybe a month or two ago, but it's still crazy low relative to a few years ago, like 800,000 versus 400,000. His thesis is that landlords win here. Of course, he's biased because of what he peddles and sells. But I kind of buy into it. It's kind of like the rental market's going to stay really healthy. And if you're thinking about buying a single family buy and hold, it's probably you're probably not going to get too hurt just because of what the market's doing. So you guys can spin this. You can see what I did in the post. I kind of spin it to like, hey, do you agree with this? And, call to action. If you'd like a list of single family opportunities, reach out. So that's a social post.
Love it. By the way, the idea of taking what someone else is saying and just adding your own commentary makes wonderful video content as well. Grab something, throw it up as a green screen. Hey, so-and-so says this. Here's my take on it. What do you think? Literally every day you could do that.
There are whole YouTube channels built on that.
Yeah.
Like you could do your own YouTube channel just talking about things people are talking about in your market. Like
absolutely.
Local tubers. I got one more, Josh, and then I'll let you hop into your stuff.
Yeah, right on.
I just wanted to mention, this is kind of like we were doing this Google PPC. I cut it off. It seemed like as soon as we started doing this, the volume just dropped like crazy in early August. The last few weeks, I struggled the first few weeks. It's rounding a corner, but I think what I want to share with everybody, and we're not making this available until I really have it working for the small handful of people who are on it. But the big takeaway, if you look in the right column, Josh, the cost per conversion, it's all over the map, right? We have people getting nice downsizing leads for $5.45. And then we have markets where I wouldn't expect to struggle historically, where we're pacing at $36. And I've struggled with patience with this campaign, even though I've been doing this for over a decade, every day. This is COVID fog. Sorry.
That's okay.
I struggled with playing with the campaign too much, getting impatient, thinking it's not working. And if you're running paid traffic, guys, you do have to kind of stick with things and let it turn a corner. And as soon as I stopped fiddling with this thing about 10 days ago, and I let it go, it started to fix itself.
I would say that part of your impatience is because you care about the clients and their money.
Yes.
Like it's you actually caring and wanting things to happen as quickly as possible successfully for them. But the reality is, and I've been saying this for years, right? It's like testing, tweaking, optimizing, whether it's Google pay-per-click or whatever it is, whatever marketing strategy. Sometimes it's a winner right out of the box. That's rare though, right? A lot of times it requires iterations to get to a point which that alone gives you a competitive advantage because most people won't be patient enough to do the iterations to get it to a point where it's predictable, scalable client acquisition in this example.
And if I could go back to these, say, 8 or 9 people, I would have told them I need 3 months because it was working so great for you locally.
Yeah. And not just me though, too. I mean, we had some others too. But me for sure. Yeah.
But so key takeaways: results may vary with this stuff. but the general ideas around the lead generation campaigns that we show you, the downsizing, the niche stuff, they tend to play out over time. They just don't always work and hit the ground running within a few weeks. You got to stick with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
Patience is a virtue. So it's follow-up Friday. I teased in there, let's get some appointments. I just want to give, I'm going to share the numbers this week that Mike has been able to obtain for our V qualifier clients. Now, these are folks where we are actively working in their CRM or database to generate appointments. So as of this morning, and the numbers have actually gone up because Mike has already set several appointments this morning. As of this morning, before Mike started, we had reached out to 4,429 contacts. This is just this week.
Should I put a doc up with some numbers? Is that more interesting?
Yeah, that would be great. So 4,429 contacts. And actually, I could have just shown.
So when you say you've reached out to 4,429.
So that means that is contacts that Mike texted. So that was, they've received a text message, or at least we've sent a text message.
Okay.
46 appointments.
What's an appointment?
That would be a phone call appointment scheduled on a calendar with a finite time. So, where Mike has tied the person down to an appointment. And
what's about pre-approval generally, right?
Generally speaking. Now, let me break it down further here. So, for example, Jennifer, she's in North Carolina. There were 986 texted. We had 14 phone appointments scheduled for Colleen, who's our financing specialist that does the initial sort of intake call for pre-approval, and then 3 given back to Jennifer. So it was the 14 plus 3 more where it just made more sense for Jennifer to have the conversation. And that may have been because they wanted to talk about listing their property or selling their property, or they may have wanted to whatever.
There's a big difference here between traditional ISA services because of the nature of how we work both sides. I feel like, I'm going to toot our own horn, our team knows how to have that discretion to say, oh, the loan officer should be talking here and saving the realtor time, get them pre-approved before the realtor wastes their time, or to say, hey, you're ready to go talk to the agent now.
Exactly.
It's a big tweak. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here's why I'm sharing this. Number one, we are pretty consistently getting 1% appointments per week. Okay. What does that mean? If you have 1,000 contacts, whether it's us, if you want to explore having us do that for you, which there's no cost for us to do so. All we ask is for an opportunity to earn the mortgage business. Okay. Whether it's us or you, that gives you a metric that you can work from and have at the back of your mind. If you've got 1,000 contacts, you should be able to generate 10 appointments. And let's just say conservative. Let's say, even if you got 10 a month, but let's say 10 every other week, right? That, like, are you doing that currently? Okay. That would be one takeaway I have.
For follow-up Friday, are you following up?
Are you following up to hit those metrics? Okay. And then the other thing I want to share is what Mike does to lock down the appointment, right? So there's like I don't know, for those of you, one of the iconic scenes of Seinfeld is he reserves a car at our car rental, and he gets there and there's no cars left. And he's like, you know how to take the appointment or take the reservation, but you don't know how to hold the reservation. Anyway. So once we get them, locked down, okay, and committing to a time, that, like, we don't stop there. So what happens then is we set it up as a calendar appointment. Now, if you're doing this yourself or you have someone in-house doing it, what you should do is, at a minimum, use Google Calendar, set an appointment, call it, quick chat with Ryan about his home search. Okay. That's the name of the appointment. And whoever's doing that conversation, whether it's you or someone else in-house, maybe it's your buyer specialist, the invite gets sent to the Ryan, the prospect, and to whoever's doing the call. So that's one.
Oh, wait. So Google Calendar sends the invite. Could you add them as a guest on the Google Calendar?
I'm just saying, if you're doing that yourself, that would be if you're just using a Google Calendar, right? You're not using any kind of technology or whatever. I guess the point is, there needs to be a calendar invite of some kind. And also, if there's another party involved, which is how we're doing it, we send a group text to lock down the appointment as well. Okay. So Mike has a conversation. Ryan says, yes, I'd like someone to call me tonight at 5 o'clock. Great. I'm going to have Colleen reach out tonight at 5. So we set the calendar appointment. The calendar invite goes out. And also, there's a group text message that says, hey, Ryan, this is Colleen and Josh, right? Colleen, would you please give Ryan a call tonight at 5 to discuss his home search and special financing options? Thanks. Okay. So all of these pieces are to lock in that appointment and make sure that we have a higher show rate. They actually answer the call, or if they need to reschedule, they'll actually, because we've done all this work, that they'll feel guilty enough, or they'll feel a sense of reciprocity enough to say, hey, something came up. I had to stay at work later. Can you call at 6 instead of 5?
I'm seeing those, by the way, in our system. People are like, hey, I'm sorry, my kid had a dentist appointment, I forgot. Like they're very apologetic.
They're apologizing and asking for someone, like, they're not just saying, sorry, I can't, but sorry, I forgot about this thing. Can we do it tomorrow morning? Or could we
this
do
makes it human. The group text kind of, okay.
So I don't know. This is a little all over the place here, but like, I guess the takeaways, if I were you, here are the takeaways. If you have any size of database, there is gold in there for you to mine, or for us to mine if you want to explore that. And B, when you get someone agreeing to an appointment, go the extra mile to really lock that down. And another thing that we're doing to help with the commitment portion of that is if we're having a conversation with them on the financing front, when Mike confirms the appointment, we're also, we layer in, I'll just give you the script. So Mike will say something like, hey, Ryan, I got you all set with Colleen. She's going to give you a call at 5 o'clock tonight. In the meantime, your next best step is to create a free account here. And he gives them the link to create a free account with the mortgage application platform that we use. Why is that important? Because it's just another layer of commitment. Even if they just start the process or create the free account, they're becoming one additional layer of committed to the process, right?
It could be easily the realtor's home search site too, if the appointment is about.
Exactly. It could be anything. It could be anything, right? But getting them more committed to the process, or it could be download our app, right? You're using KB Core. In the meantime, I'd highly recommend that you download our mobile app, so you can get notified in real time when properties fit, whatever, right? Like doing something to get them to do another thing to get them more entrenched.
It could be send Colleen a friend request on Facebook,
and
something like that to get your feelers in a little more.
Right. Dan Kennedy says that's how you build a fence around your herd, right? Like it's part of the process of getting them committed and locked in and making sure that if or when their motivation hits a tipping point, that they're working with you. Right? They're working with you in one way, shape, or form. So as far as the actual scripts and the conversations, etc., that's littered all over the Wake Up Real Estate site.
Yeah, it's under templates.
Down at wakeup.realestate, there's all types of scripts and templates and so forth. And we're an open book on that. And I would tell you, if you have 30 or more transaction sides or 5 million in volume in the last 12 months, we should chat about what we're doing for our clients that I described here. If you're under those thresholds, you should go create a free account at wakeup.realestate. Use the tools and resources. There are lead capture tools. There are scripts and templates, etc. You can also join us Wednesday afternoons so we can get you to the point where it would make sense for then us to jump in and help you with that work and get the ball rolling. And then the last thing I would say is, even if you have a small amount of contacts in your database, there's still probably some gold in there to be mined.
You know what else you have? If you have a small database, you have your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram friends that you can manually message some of these scripts to.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got a few hundred of those at least, a few thousand.
Mike got 2 of the appointments that Mike generated this morning, which weren't even in that initial list, came from a small batch, 170, on a campaign for Michelle, who is in Pennsylvania. We created the campaign for her. We built everything out. Leads that were generated in the last, 6 or 8 weeks. And we got 2 appointments from that. That was a small batch, right? So you don't have to have thousands and thousands to create conversations and generate appointments.
Do we want to talk about the pull-through rate of somebody, scheduling a mortgage consultation call? Because I think the numbers game aspect of this comes into play. It's not like we're converting 8 out of 10 of those into a pre-approval these days.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're getting, for folks that we have a conversation with, we're getting about half to do an application.
Right.
And then of that, about half that we're able to pre-approve. So 10 appointments, 2 or 3 that we're going to get an approval or a conditional approval. And also we're gonna give folks, if there is motivation on the part of the folk or the person that we're having the appointment with, if there is motivation on their part, we will help them. We may have to give them a plan for credit direction. We may have to give them a plan for a credit direction or just a plan
saving for a down payment, some advice about how to fix their work situation. A lot of people have gaps in their work history they got to resolve. There's all kinds of stuff that George knows more about than us, but
yeah.
But the bottom line is, I know firsthand because I'm behind the scenes trying to build our longer term follow up systems so that none of these people who don't qualify today fall away. Because if those other 8 people who don't get pre-approved, they know people or they themselves will become qualified in the next 2 to 5 years. And I think that's where most of the money is. And you just won't see that for years out of this kind of effort. It's like that with everything.
This is beautiful. Andrew says, someone who's been in my database since 2016 just scheduled an appointment today. They're downsizing. Been opening emails for years. I had a bad spell, but was able to update today.
Yeah, how'd they find you? Just you're pretty heavy on LinkedIn and socials, so I imagine they saw something you did or an email. Andrew, also, I hope you don't mind me sharing, but Andrew was one of the first people to use justsold.com. He texted me yesterday and said he got his first scan. So that was only about a week ago. So that's a pretty quick scan on a Just Sold.
Love it.
And I know Andrew's probably already been to the house.
Yeah. Love it.
Hey, with donuts, right? You brought donuts this morning?
Okay. So short and sweet today. Ryan said he has about 20 minutes of focused energy in him before he crashes and his brain just fogs over.
Comment below if you've experienced the same thing with this strain or whatever it is. It's really wild and it's not fun, but it's also kind of loopy. Like I smoked a little bit of
like he did.
Whatever.
If you don't have anything going on this afternoon, okay, create your free account, use some of the scripts, and get yourself some appointments lined up for this weekend or early next week. If you're at the threshold that I mentioned, you're over 30 transactions the last 12 months and or 5 million in volume, and you want to chat about our V qualifier process, you can just schedule a time with me at josh15.com. Otherwise, we'll be back on Monday. Hopefully, Ryan will be closer to 100%. It's Monday, so we'll talk some mortgage, some motivation, and of course, always a little marketing as well. And if you need anything between now and then, you can use the little chat widget at the bottom right on the site at wakeup.realestate. And if you're out with clients and you need some mortgage or financing help or a pre-approval, our mortgage team is absolutely working this weekend. So just let us know on that. Thank you. Oh, hold on. One last thing here. Andrew says, just sold message. Your just sold postcard for 808 Covered Bridge Drive was just scanned. I love it. Those are fun messages to get when someone scans the postcard.
Yep.
Good stuff. And we're still, hopefully next week at some point, we'll be ready to test the thanks and iList integration.
You think that soon?
Oh yeah. Piece of
they
cake.
Work that fast? That's impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if we work that fast. Thanks. I mean, kind of lazy.
We'll see. Hopefully, I'm not putting Joe on the spot there, but I'm pretty confident he's been able to make stuff happen pretty quickly.
Perfect.
So awesome.
Right.
And if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, go watch yesterday's show. If you missed it. Have a great weekend, all, and feel better, Ryan.
See you.